I just have a few announcements to make. On Monday, I won't be able to teach meditation. I have to have this bi-monthly treatment on my eye, and it's coming up this Monday. And after I do this, it's really not possible to teach a class. Does anyone have a question you'd like to ask?
Stuart, I have a question, Bob Sink.
Yes, Bob.
Both you and Rudy, when you went to the dentist, you did not use painkillers. Yes? And
Use what?
Novocaine to when you had a tooth drilled at the dentist.
Yeah.
I remember Rudy writing about that trick, that the way was to go above the frequency of the pain. Could you talk about that?
Yes. When I was younger, I used to do that. I would go to the dentist and I would tell them, don't use Novocaine. Some of the dentists used to freak out, because nobody ever does that. And I would do it, and I did it as a test of my inner capacity. Can I go deep enough in myself to detach myself from the pain? And I didn't do it for masochistic reasons or I like pain or anything. I just wanted to see if I could do that. And I discovered that I was capable of doing that. I would go above the pain. Pain has a frequency. And we have the capacity to detach ourselves by being focused in the third chakra, by developing a system inside that is strong enough to do it. I mean, I don't do that anymore, but I used to do it when I was living in Texas. I used to do that quite a bit, actually. And that's the reason I did it. Can I detach myself from the pain? Do I have enough inner strength, inner detachment to go above the frequency of the pain? And I found that the pain went away very quickly when I didn't feed it with my head. We have a pain in our finger and all our attention is on our finger all the time. And we literally feed the pain, and the pain, sometimes gets worse because of that. But the incredible thing is you can detach yourself from pain. And in many cases, you can heal yourself by not feeding the problem with your mind. So I did that as an exercise. I did it. I used to go to the subways of New York in the rush hour, and I would meditate. And I would sit there and meditate, and I would do it to see if I could detach myself from rush hour subway trains in New York. And I found that it was an incredible exercise in a way of building inner strength, building the capacity to detach oneself from what is really not a very good situation. I mean, people, they can barely breathe. during the rush hour on a New York City subway train. And I would go there just to do that, to see if I could not allow that to bother me, if I can stay detached from that. It's not that I wanted to be in Russia, just used it as an exercise. And I discovered that a human being inside himself or herself is so much stronger than the things that annoy us in life. And the things that annoy us in life drain so much of our energy that we need to get the inner strength. We got to put ourselves in some annoying situations and really see if we can stay centered inside, stay detached. We don't get swept away in them. We don't get sucked into them. I mean, I honestly learned this from Rudy. I used to watch him do this all the time. And I've been doing it most of my life, throwing myself into situations that were very difficult. Can I be strong enough to do it without allowing them to drain me of my life? It's a very important aspect of this meditation. I don't know about other meditations. I mean, I used to have students years ago, well, I meditate, not this. They would do, I think, transcendental meditation. I do meditation. I'll sit for hours, and I walk out on the street and I completely freak out. You know, God isn't only sacred in the meditation room. God is sacred in every single aspect of life. And every single aspect of life is there to teach us how to grow inside ourselves, to recognize the sacred nature of God, what we're being taught in that particular situation. I mean, people used to come and tell me this, yeah, when I meditate, I was doing transcendental meditation, and I walk out on the street and I freak out. I said, well, did they teach you how to get centered below the navel? What's that? What's that? Did they teach you how to ground yourself inside? No, they taught me to just open my heart chakra, to meditate on my third eye, to chant a mantra. So I think if things annoy you, you should really, just as an exercise, put yourself in that situation and see if you can get detached from it, if you can find a way to learn how to grow from it. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I don't mean doing it, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, but periodically just put yourself in a situation that really annoys you and see if you can get stronger than it. If you can detach yourself from it, if it doesn't bother you. There'd be a major growth, a major use of this work to grow inside yourself. I mean, sometimes comfortable situations are the worst situations to be in. We just kind of die inside ourselves because the comfort is so, easy, and it doesn't test us. We don't have to grow. We can just become vegetables. I mean, I learned this from Rudy. I learned this from having spent 6 years around him, very close to him, and I used to see the way he functioned. And it was always putting him in situations that demanded of him that he had to grow. So yes, I used to go to the dentist, and I'm telling you, some of them used to freak out. No, I'm not going to do that. I said, well, I'll get another dentist who will do it. That's all. You're part of my spiritual practice. I'm learning how to get stronger than the pain you inflict on people. I don't suggest doing that if you're going to have a root canal. Too much. But in fact, does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Well, as you all probably know, tomorrow one of my tantras gets published. Tantra 20. A lot of tantras I've written. And, I mean, I think it's worthy if you have time to spend 5 minutes and read those things. They really have something important to say. And I must admit that they require a bunch of work on my part to just gather together a couple of paragraphs about inner work that can be read in a very practical way and make sense. So if you have time, just go to my website and look at it. I mean, also the paintings, the painting tomorrow is a great 12th, 13th century Tibetan Thangka. A very powerful painting. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, there will be meditation Sunday. There won't be one on Monday. I'm hoping to see you all. God bless you all. I hope you take away from this, the depth of Rudy's work that is really important to learn just to live in your everyday life. I take that away. And don't be afraid to test yourself. Put yourself in some annoying situations and learn how to not let them bother you. It's all a matter of inner strength and detachment, and all the bullshit in the world doesn't bother you anymore. The only way to get free of, relationships is to have a relationship and not let it bother you. Learn how to get strong enough so that you can deal with another human being and love another human being without letting it bother you. That's how you get free of relationships. You want to get free of poverty consciousness? Go make money. Learn how to make money and not be afraid of success and financial success in life. Because that's one area that really sucks the life out of just about everybody. And if you can do that without letting it suck your life out of you, I mean, you're going to be a pretty highly evolved human being. I mean that, It's everything. Whatever you do, do it. I mean, it's karma, and it's learning how to work out karma in the world by taking chances and doing things that are difficult for you, getting stronger than them, allowing them not to bother you. Becoming friends with enemies, with people you don't like. Easy to have people in your life that you don't like. Very difficult to get big enough inside to find something about them that you do like and to be friends with them. Does anyone else have a question? I mean, all the greatest teachers spoke about these kind of things, right? Didn't they? I mean, or am I wrong about that? I don't know. But they spoke about this. Love your enemy, turn the other cheek, blah, 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 all that stuff, it's all about putting yourself in situations that aren't necessarily comfortable situations and learning how to get comfortable with them. Instead of, like, it's easy to complain. It's very hard to grow. Okay, if there are no more questions, God bless you all. Thank you. And there'll be class Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. God bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.